When buying an audio interface, whether it's your first one or your fifth one, you want to make sure you get the right one for your needs. And that includes the quality of the audio, the amount of inputs, the type of inputs that it has, and there's some things that you might not think of, and we'll look at those in just a bit to make sure you get the right audio interface for you. Now let's start with one of the most entry-level audio interfaces out there, and that is the Behringer UMC22. Now there's another one called the Behringer UM2. They're in around the same price, but this one is the better out of the two of those. Now, as far as specs go, they both have pretty much the same specs, except for this one has a Midas preamp in it, and the other one has a Xenix preamp. Another difference is this has a metal case, the other one has a plastic case, and the layout here is different. These controls are on the top for the other one, and on this one, they're on the front. For me, this is a better interface because build quality is better. I like having the controls on the front because if you have it sitting on your desk, then you can easily see the controls right there. Now, both of these interfaces have one mic preamp, so you can connect only one microphone to it at a time. And that mic preamp is also your line input. So you can either have a microphone connected or a line device connected. And it also has an instrument input. And this is going to be for your electric guitars and bass guitar, that sort of thing. So you can have an electric guitar or bass connected and a microphone connected at the same time. You can record both of those at the same time if you want with this. Now on to recording quality. With this one, it is only 16-bit, but it's 16-bit and it can record up to 48 kilohertz, which is kind of older DVD quality and just a step up from CD quality. And another thing to note here is that it only has one output knob. So what does that mean? That means this one output knob is controlling the output for your speakers that you might have connected to it and for your headphones. There's not a separate knob to control the headphones and the speakers. It's all done in one, which can be annoying if it's not easy to turn off your studio monitors or speakers and you want to record quietly. You're going to have to disconnect them or power them down somehow and then just use your headphones. And that's something that people tend to overlook when purchasing an audio interface. It's such a small little feature, but it can mean a whole lot when you're recording. Now let's look at the next one, which is the Presonus Audiobox Go. There's also some other Presonus Audiobox audio interfaces that are a step up from this, and depending on the price, you might want to go with the Audiobox USB, which is the step up from this. And that's because those ones include Presonus Studio One Artist, and that's an excellent DAW to get started with. This one, you only get Studio One Prime, which is the free version of it, and anyone can download that. Now, what is great about this little audio interface? Well, you can see right away that it does have a separate volume knob for headphones and one separate for your speakers on the back. Another thing that you'll notice with this is all of your controls are on the front and you have to plug in onto the back. So there's no front input on there. Whether that works for your studio setup or not is all up to you. Some people prefer to plug in on the front. Some people don't mind plugging in on the back and just leaving it there. Like the other one we looked at, it does have just one microphone preamp, which is also your line input. So the same thing there. And you have one instrument input. So you can have your microphone and your electric guitar connected at the same time. No problem there. You have your speaker out. Now, another area where this one differs is that it's 24-bit and it can record up to 96 kilohertz. So a lot better audio quality can be recorded with this one. And another thing to mention about software, this one comes bundled with the Presonus Studio Magic bundle of plugins. So there's a lot of great plugins that you'll get additionally with this, which is a nice add-on. And like I said, compare this with the Presonus Audiobox USB. See what the pricing is. If you can afford the Audiobox USB, I would definitely go with that one. It is a little bit bigger than this, not a whole lot. This is the smallest audio interface that we have here. It is pretty tiny, very easy to take with you. It's a plastic shell on this. that might be something of concern to you. It is a hard plastic, but it's plastic nonetheless. The Audiobox USB, those are metal, and they come with that Presonus Studio One Artist. So that's it for the Audiobox Go. Now let's look at the next one in here. And this is the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. And the one in my hand right here is the 3rd gen. So like the others, it has one microphone input on the front, but this microphone input is only for microphones. The instrument shares the line input, so you can either have it as instrument or line in. And a lot of people might prefer that because they might want to have their mic and a line input connected at the same time. And with this one, you can do that. It is a metal housing on there. These things are solid. They're probably one of the most popular audio interfaces out there, the Focusrite Scarlett series in general. On the back, you just have outputs for your studio monitors or speakers. And one thing to note is you don't have that separate volume for your headphones. It's all controlled with one. So if that's a concern to you, you may want to try another audio interface like maybe this one here, which is the bigger brother or sister, however you want to look at it. It's the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. The one in my hand right now is the 1st gen, but they're laid out basically the same. And you'll notice with this one, you do have that separate headphone control. Also with the 2i2, you have 2 inputs that can be microphone, line, or instrument. So if you need to have 2 microphones connected, this might be the way to go. Now back to the Solo here. One of the cool features on the 3rd gen Scarlett series of audio interfaces is the air button. And when you press that, it kind of puts it into this analog mic preamp mode, which is very nice, and it gives you a little extra flavor. So sometimes you might want to record with that, sometimes you might not. This also comes with a ton of extra software through the Hitmaker expansion pack is what they call it. And that's a bundle of plugins that you get with this, plus Ableton Live Lite if you should want that. And for recording quality, this records at 24-bit up to 192 kilohertz. So very nice recording quality with these. There's probably a reason why these are some of the most popular audio interfaces out there. All right, so now on to the next audio interface, and this is the Arturia Minifuse. And the one that I have in my hand right here is the Arturia Minifuse 4. And there's other sizes, including the just plain Minifuse, which is more of your entry-level design. All of the features are pretty much the same, except for this one has a couple more inputs and a couple more outputs. But on even the basic model of the Minifuse, you have a separate headphone volume, which is ideal. Also, one of the cool things with the Minifuse audio interfaces is that they have USB hubs built into them. So if you need to plug in something else that's USB, you can plug it into here and have this plugged into your computer. And with everything taking up USB slots now, that's a really nice feature to have on an audio interface. Now, another thing about the basic one is that it has one input only, and that input can be a microphone, a line input, or a guitar input, but you don't have 2 inputs on the base one. There is another one that's in between the base and this one. It's the Minifuse 2, I think it's called. Now, I really like how slim and small these are. They have a nice sleek look to them, and they sound great. I just recorded an entire song using only this audio interface plus the included software, because it does come with an excellent bundle of plugins and software. You get Ableton Live Lite with it and some great Arturia plugins, plus Guitar Rig 6 LE, which sounds excellent. And the quality of recording that you can get from this is 24-bit up to 192 kilohertz. So they're really targeting the customer that would go for the Focusrite Scarlett series. And you really can't go wrong with either. Just have a look to make sure each one has what you need. Now, next up, we have the Audient ID4 MK2 or Mark II, and this thing is really built like a tank. You'll notice that right away. It's very heavy, nice strong metal all around on this, and even the knobs are nice metal. These are great quality audio interfaces. They have one mic preamp on them, and that mic preamp is the same that you'll find in the big Audient consoles. So these are pro-level mic preamps in this. And again, this is a mic pre that can also be a line input. On the front, you have an instrument DI. And these instrument DIs are excellent, top quality DIs. Another cool feature about this one is You have your 1/4-inch headphone jack plus an 1/8-inch headphone jack. So you can plug in 2 headphones at a time on here. And you'll notice that this one doesn't have a separate volume control for headphones and speakers, but what it does have is this mute speaker button. So if you do need to record, you can just press the mute speaker button. It's going to mute your speakers. You can hear it through your headphones or both pairs of headphones if you need to, and away you record. Now this will record at 24-bit up to 96 kilohertz. Very high quality audio that you're going to get from this. It has excellent converters in it. These are really known for being a high quality audio interface. And for bonus software that you get with this, you get some nice, decent plugins like the Torpedo Wall of Sound Cabinet Sim, which is an excellent cabinet simulator for your guitars. You also get Cubase LE with this, which is a really nice digital audio workstation. So if you're still looking for a digital audio workstation and you want one of the top of the line ones that you can get for free, that's Steinberg Cubase LE, and you get it with this. And of course, there are many other excellent audio interfaces out there. These are just my top picks right here. Maybe from this video, you know what to look for when looking at other audio interfaces. So if you don't want these specific ones, maybe you at least know what features you do want. And if you're worried about how easy or hard it might be to set up an audio interface, click the video on the screen right now. I go through setting up the hardware and the software so you can get started with your audio interface. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.